I mean, hold on a second. He's got 7 free throw attempts in the whole year?
Yeah.
What the
Last year, Ayton, 62% true shooting on 23 usage. That's dropped to 57% true shooting on 17 usage this year.
Yeah, and that 57% true shooting for a center, that is awful, right? That's
Awful.
like that's basically like a guard having like 50% true shooting.
And so when you look at the synergy play types, one notable thing that sticks out is, like we talked about this a little bit with Kawhi, Deandre Ayton had 19% of his possessions as a cutter last year in Phoenix.
Yeah,
That's down
which
to
is basically
10%.
like dump offs around the rim. That's not necessarily
Exactly.
like, oh, great back cut, DeAndre.
Back
It's
cut,
more
exactly.
just like someone drives or makes him a great pass and he finishes.
And those are very effective plays. And you could argue, based if they're dump offs, that they're more effective for bigs sometimes than smalls. And so you're replacing effective possessions with less effective possessions. And while Ayton was never great at finishing those kinds of things, you have that. And then instead, what he's doing is, like just a lot of the lower usage stuff, they're using him less in pick and roll. It's a slightly smaller portion of he's doing fewer post-ups than he did before. And so it's the, miscellaneous plays and transition that are taking up more. And yeah, you could argue it's spacing, and obviously guard play is a bigger part of this, but like he hasn't really been effective in any facet of like synergy split offense other than putbacks, which bizarrely was one of the things that he was not particularly efficient at last year. So, but we're dealing with small sample size here. He's made 14 of his 19 putbacks, but that is pretty good. And
yeah, I'm taking a look at his defensive stats here while you continue on.
If you want to do it on shot location, Ayton is converting about the same proportion in the restricted area, but that was only 31%, which seems extremely low, of his possessions or of his as a Sun, to 23% this year, and shifting almost 10% of your shots from restricted area to floater range and mid range does not work for anybody else's offense. And Nate, do you want to take a break from looking at his defensive stats to do a little piece of trivia?
Desperately.
Going into today's games, because I compiled these stats on Sunday morning, DeAndre Ayton has hovered around 3 free throw attempts per 36 minutes, which is really low. This year, he is at 0.7 free throw attempts per 36 minutes. He has taken 7 on the season in 384 minutes. Okay, so here's the trivia question.
What? I mean, hold on a second. He's got 7 free throw attempts in the whole year?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He's made 6 of those 7. He has more blocks than free throw attempts. Okay, so here's the question. There are only 4 players in the NBA, and as you could guess, none of these are bigs, who have over 300 minutes of play this year and have a lower free throw attempt rate per 36 than 8. Any guesses on who they are?
So, lower free throw attempts per 36.
Yes.
I mean, even Nikola Vucevic is not going to be that bad.
Correct. Vuce is at 1.8.
All right, I might need like a little hint here. Can you give me what position do these guys play? These are all guards.
They're forwards, actually, mostly.
Yeah, Lonzo Ball hasn't played this year.
Two of them play on the same team in the Atlantic Division.
The same team. Royce O'Neal?
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty good. That was not bad right there for 11:35 p.m. Pacific. And then is Ben Simmons the other one?
No, Dorian Finney-Smith. I don't think Ben Simmons has played 300 minutes.
Oh yeah. Sorry. That's right. Yeah, he hasn't. Yeah. DFS would be the obvious other one.
I'll give you the other two. Eric Gordon.
Eric Gordon, huh?
Eric Gordon. Well, I don't know if the let's see, what did he do in the Suns game? Because this was compound. No, he only took two. He only took two free throws in 41 minutes. So that's actually not going to increase his rate very much. And Torrey Craig, 0.6.
Remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable that it just, yeah, and like, the post up. He's doing more of these post ups, and those haven't been efficient. It's just.
Oh, let me see how many he had tonight. Just because now I'm invested. He had 2 tonight. Okay, so he upped his rate to like maybe 0.8. Do you want to talk about his defense, or should we go? I was thinking.
Well, I got one more thing for you here. Yeah.
Sure.
Among centers who have played more than 150 possessions.
Okay.
Deandre Ayton's contest rate, the percentage of opponent shots at the rim that he is within 5 feet of, is 4th from the bottom. Here's a good one. Would you care to guess the other 3 gentlemen? I will give you a hint that 2 of them are guys who are center size, but really probably play more forward. Deandre Ayton contests only 21% of opponent shots around the rim as a center. Again, really a respectable number for most of those. For most centers is like 30% or above, like pure centers. Even, like an Al Horford type who's switching out of the perimeter more, like he's still at 25%. Interesting though, Rob Williams, when he played, was 25%. Like the Blazers are doing a little bit more switching, so that's part of this. But so yeah, you want to take a guess on these guys?
So it's over 150 possessions. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend too long.
Very skilled players. Center size, don't always play center.
Zion?
Not really center sized. So yeah, he is not listed as a center on.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's listed as a 4. Okay.
And then the other gentleman was the youngest player in the league last year.
Oh, Durant.
Yes. Yeah. Another guy who does a fair amount of switching, but also like not the greatest defensive recognition. I'll give you the other 2.
Sure.
Karl Anthony Towns.
That makes sense.
And Victor Wembanyama.
That was actually going to be somebody I guessed.